Here with reaction, House Judiciary Committee member and Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz and Wall Street Journal columnist Kimberly Strassel, the author of the book Resistance at All Costs. All right, Congressman, what did you think about the way I laid that out right there?
I think what's particularly offensive about Brian Stelter's take is that he presumes that if he and his buddies at CNN can just explain to the American people enough that he's going to fundamentally alter what they care about. You know what my constituents were wondering? They were wondering why we were watching about 3 hours of policy arguments over the Russia-Ukraine border when we're not doing nearly enough on the U.S.-Mexico border. This all looks like hearsay marinated in a policy disagreement, salted with a good amount of emotion and resentment. What the President did, we've learned at the end of the week, is recall an ambassador that he had lost confidence in and that President Zelensky had lost confidence in. And then you have these folks who are part of permanent Washington who seem to have oscillating views. You had the Obama administration think that we should send the Ukrainians MREs and blankets. Then you had folks in the Trump administration wanting to send javelins. You got President Trump himself worried about corruption in the Ukraine. And ultimately, President Trump delivers aid, lethal aid, that the Obama administration didn't. Give me a break if they think this is a basis for impeachment. It's barely the basis to hold a hearing.
Kimberly, what do you think about Matt's point that, you know, he has constituents back in the district, and a lot of people, when they hear about foreign aid flying out of this country, they think, hey, can we get some aid right here in this district? Or, you know, you care so much about the border over there in Ukraine. What about our southern border with Mexico? Do you think there's a total disconnect with what's going on and what goes on back in the heartland?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, that's for those who actually tuned in to the hearing. and you know, that goes to your whole opening remarks, Jesse, in that, bear in mind, this was actually Adam Schiff's best shot at drumming up some excitement, okay? His opening statement, he put everything he had into it. These were his two star witnesses. And yet here's a problem for Democrats is, first of all, they held all this in secret and then they leaked all of their best nuggets. So there's nothing new in any of these hearings. And then we were basically subjected to 5.5 hours of a deep dive into Ukrainian U.S. foreign policy by a number of bureaucrats that no one has ever heard of, relating a bunch of very confusing dates and meetings. You know, I think for the average person, not only are they confused by all this, but yeah, the disconnect is huge. Why, not just that question of aid and our border, for instance, but why are we not passing a trade agreement with Mexico? Why are we not working on major priorities? That's, I think, the takeaway a lot of Americans are getting from this.
And Congressman, you know, another big disconnect, if you compare it with the Obama administration, you had ambassadors dead. Now you have an ambassador fired. They want to impeach Trump for firing an ambassador. Republicans could have tried to impeach Trump for getting an ambassador, or impeach Obama for getting an ambassador killed after requesting security assistance. The whole thing's discombobulated. I'll give you the last word.
Sure, they seem to have impeachment fever, and in the musical chairs of impeachment, House Democrats have tried out a lot of different seats. You know, first it was Russia collusion, then it was obstruction of justice, then there were those few weeks where they even talked about impeaching Bill Barr or Justice Kavanaugh, and now that the music has stopped, they've landed in the Ukraine, of all places, and it's a bit dizzying for regular folks who just wish the Congress would put their priorities over the political ambitions of House Democrats who are obsessed with investigations and impeachment.
All right, Congressman Kim, thank you very much.